sports. It's in the game.
What's up, guys? It's JTB Game here, and today we have the second episode of our Minnesota United Road to Glory. And to start this episode off, we will be looking at our youth academy. I decided to send one of our scouts to Australia for 6 months to find some playmakers. I've decided to send another one of our scouts to the United States to find some physically strong players. And our other scout will be going to New Zealand to find a goalkeeper for 3 months, and then to New Zealand to find some attacker for the next 3 months. We now get right into the action as we host FC Dallas at the Allianz Field. We will be lining up in a 3-1-4-2. We will have Miller in goal. We will have Morgan, Opara, and Alonso at center backs, Gregus at defensive mid, Kerr and Molino at center mids, Metnair and Laud at outside mids, with Toy and Finley up top. FC Dallas will be lining up in a 4-3-3. In the 68th minute, FC Dallas have the ball on the right side of the field. The ball is then played in behind the defense for their right winger. Gregus cannot keep up. The ball is crossed into the box. Metnair is able to win the header and he clears it away. However, we cannot win his ball. FC Dallas then have the ball on the edge of our box. Metnair is looking to tackle. However, he does end up getting beaten. The ball is crossed in. Opara is able to clear that ball. However, we just cannot get the ball away before it falls to their player, who puts it into the back of the net in the 71st minute to put us down 1-0. At full time, we would end up losing 1-0. This is definitely not the start we wanted to the second half of the season. However, it's not the worst result. We now travel to face the Colorado Rapids. The Colorado Rapids will be lining up in a 4-2-3-1. The player we're going to have to watch out for is our striker, Kai Kamara. I've decided to switch up the team a little bit, as we have switched from a 3-1-4-2 to a 3-4-1-2. We will have Miller in goal, Metnair, Opara, and Morgan at center backs, Alonso and Gregus at center mids, Finley and Laud at outside mids, Molino at attacking mid, with Toy and Emeria up top. In the 17th minute, we have a throw deep in the Rapids area. Toy throws it to Laud. Laud plays Alonso. Alonso plays it to Gregus, who returns it right back to him. Molino gets the ball. He plays it to Alonso. Alonso then plays Gregus. Gregus then plays Emeria, who turns the defender for knocking it back across to Gregus, who puts the ball into the back of the net to put us up 1-0 in the 19th minute. In the 67th minute, the Rapids have a corner. It is crossed in. We are able to clear the ball away. However, it is not all the way away. The Rapids player then gets it in the box. He crosses the back post. Morgan is able to somewhat get it away. Laud chases the ball. He then attempts to play Toy, who ends up losing the battle. Opara then misses a tackle before it's crossed in as Bentner is beat in the air to tie the game up at 1-1 in the 69th minute. At full time, we would end up tying 1-1. We now have a little bit of transfer news, as we've decided to loan out Russell Williams for the rest of the season to FC Twente. We have gone on to sell Brent Kallman to Atletico Tucumán for $680,000. We do have a little bit of bad news, as Tyler Miller has sprained his knee and he is going to be out for 3 weeks. We now have some youth academy news, as I've decided to promote a couple of players, and the first of which is Larry Burns, who is a 6'2" defensive-minded defensive mid from Canada. He's a 60 overall with a potential of 82 to 88. Burns is showing great potential, so we will be keeping him around for a while. Another player I'm promoting is Alexander Cunningham, who is a 5'11" defensive-minded defensive mid from Canada. He is a 60 overall with a potential of 76 to 94. Cunningham is showing great potential, and he can play defensive mid, or center back, so I will most likely keep him around to be a utility player. The third player I'm promoting is Joseph Banks, who is a 6'3" defensive-minded left back from Canada. He's a 62 overall with a potential of 85 to 94. Banks is showing potential to be special, so I definitely will keep him around and make sure that he develops. Since Miller is out injured, I have decided to promote Max Alexander. He is a 6'6" goalkeeper. He is a 61 overall with a potential of 71 to 94. Alexander is showing great potential, so I definitely will be having him possibly even replace Miller in the long run. We now have another game against the Colorado Rapids as we host them, this time at our home field, the Allianz Field. The only change I have made is Finley is out, so I've put Molino at right mid, and since the attacking mid spot is vacant, I've put Kerr there, and Alexander is in goal for Miller as Miller is out injured. Colorado Rapids will again be lining up in that 4-2-3-1, and we again are going to have to watch out for Kai Kamara. In the 44th minute, we have the ball in a dangerous area as Kerr plays Toy. Toy then plays Alonso into the box. Alonso then hits an absolute banger into the right upper 90 to put us up 1-0 in the 45th minute. In the extra time of the second half, Colorado Rapids have the ball in a dangerous area out wide as Banks is battling with their player. He's doing a good job. The first cross is blocked. The second cross is knocked as Alexander collects the ball. We then look to punt it long, but Mednair gets in the way of Alexander's punt, and the player is able to head it into the back of the net as we end up drawing this game 1-1, as this could be a huge loss for us heading into the playoffs. At full time, we would end up drawing 1-1. This is definitely a terrible result as we are trying to push for the playoffs and we cannot be having stupid mistakes like this happening. We now travel to face Sporting Kansas City. Kansas City will be lining up in a 4-3-3 attack. I've decided to change up our shape again as I've switched us to a 3-4-2-1, as I will have the same back line of Metnair, Opara, Boxall, and Miller returns from injury. We'll have Alonso and Gregus at center mids, Finley and Laud at outside mids, Kerr and Molino at center forwards with Toy up top. In the 17th minute, Toy is able to intercept the ball in a dangerous area. He plays it back to Laud. Laud is struggling for the ball. He's able to keep the ball. Alonso then looks to switch the ball before a Sporting Kansas City player gets in the way. Kansas City are now looking to counterattack us as they're able to just keep swinging the ball out wide as there is an option available. They do then, however, cut it back before their player is able to play the player into the box, who puts it past the goalkeeper to put us down 1-0 in the 20th minute. In the 31st minute, Gregus whips the ball into the box from the corner, and Toy is able to head it into the back of the net to tie the game up at 1-1 in the 31st minute. In the 57th minute, we have the ball out wide. Kerr plays it into Toy. Toy then loses the ball in a bad area. We are then immediately counterattacked as Opara cannot make the tackle. Their player puts it past Miller as we are now down 2-1 in the 58th minute. In the 81st minute, Finley has the ball out wide. He uses his space to get around the defender. The defender then slide tackles him in the box, and we earn a penalty. This should be a red card for the player if we are lucky, but it could also be a yellow. But the referee does give him a red card as Kansas City are now down to 10 men late in the game. We do have this penalty that if we are able to convert, we'll draw the game, as we do look to push for that playoff spot. Kansas City now makes a defensive substitution. Molino will be the one to take the penalty for us. We look to put it into the bottom left corner. He steps up to shoot. The keeper does not move in time, and Molino converts the penalty to tie the game up at 2-2 in the 82nd minute. At full time, we would end up drawing 2-2. We now have a little bit of transfer news, as on deadline day, we have loaned out Max Martin to FCSB for the rest of the season. We've also sold Daniel Brown to SKN St. Polten for $580,000. We now host Sporting Kansas City at the Allianz Field. I've decided to switch us to a 4-1-4-1 as I just feel like our defense has been a little bit shaky recently. So we'll again have Miller in goal, Metnair at right back, Opara and Boxall at center backs, with Morgan at left back, Alonso at defensive mid, Gregus and Molino at center mids, Kerr and Laud at outside mids, with Toy up top. Sporting Kansas City will again be lining up in that 4-3-3 attack. In the 60th minute, Metnair has the ball out wide. He plays it into Opara, who swings it to Boxall. Boxall then plays Morgan. Morgan plays Gregus. Gregus then goes past the defender for playing Toy. Toy then holds up the ball as he plays it into Gregus. Gregus plays it back to Toy. Toy plays Molino. Molino plays Gregus through the defense, and he is able to comfortably put it past the goalkeeper to put us up 1-0 in the 63rd minute. In the 81st minute, Sporting Kansas City have the ball in a dangerous area. They're then able to combine before their player is able to curl it around Opara and Miller to tie the game up at 1-1 in the 81st minute. At full time, we would end up tying 1-1 with Sporting Kansas City. Before we look at how we did at the end of the season, I have a lot of transfer news as we have sold Greg Ran to Kielce for $69,000. Thomas Chacon will be joining Admira Wacker for $600,000. Jose Aja will be joining Botafogo for $1.15 million. Gasper will be joining Astruga Gurugu for $870,000. Dotson will be joining FC Cincinnati for $790,000. Ja'Cory Hayes will be joining the Philadelphia Union for $810,000. Michael Boxall will be joining BSC Young Boys for $890,000. Martin Harrison will be joining Huracan for $790,000. Noah Billingsley will be joining Accra Gida for $370,000. James Musa will be joining SC Heerenveen for $580,000. Raheem Edwards will be joining FCSB for $1 million. The final player we are selling right now is Aaron Schoenfield, who will be joining FC Luzerne for $550,000. We now have multiple youth players we are promoting, and the first of which is Sam Richardson, who is a 6'2", technically gifted center mid. He's a 60 overall with the potential of 80 to 94. Richardson is an exciting prospect, so I will be keeping him around for a while. One player I'm extremely excited about is George Ward. He is a playmaking attacking mid. He's a 62 overall with the potential of 82 to 94. George Ward is showing potential to be special, so he definitely will be a very crucial player for us in the coming seasons. Another player I'm really excited about is Isidoro Paz. He's a 5'6" attacking center mid from Mexico. He is a 61 overall with a potential of 91 to 94. Paz is showing potential to be special. He could be a really good player for us along with Ward in the future. The final youth player we are promoting right now is Ethan Gordson. He's a 6'6", physically strong defensive mid from the United States. He's a 60 overall with the potential of 84 to 90. Gordson is an exciting prospect, so he definitely could be playing as defensive mid or center back for us in the future. After all that player personnel news, we now look at how we did in the league, and we did end up coming in 8th place as we were 3 points behind the Colorado Rapids. We definitely did not deserve to make the playoffs as we lost multiple games that we should have won late in the season. In the Open Cup, we did end up getting knocked out in the round of 16 by Atlanta United 4-2. Looking at our stats from the season, the players who appeared in the most games were Toy and Molino with 39 appearances. Opara, Alonso, Lod, and Gregus appeared in 38 games, and Metnair appeared in 37. Finley would end up being our top goal scorer this season as he scored 12 goals. Toy came in second with 10, and Molino came in third with 9. Lod had the most assists for the season as he had 7. Molino came in second with 6, and Gregus and Kerr tied for third with 4. Looking at the players who kept the most clean sheets, Opara and Lod tied for first with 7. Miller and Finley tied for second with 6, and Toy, Metnair, Alonso, and Molino tied for third with 5. This season, we did have 2 players go down in overall, and that was Finley and Alonso. Eric Morgan was a player whose overall increased the most as he went up by 5 overall. Toy's overall went up by 4, and Kurt and Ponce's went up by 3. Looking at our players with the highest overall, Opara is our best player as a 75 overall. Alonso is just in second as he is a 74 overall, and Molino and Metnair are in third as they are 72 overalls. We do have some sad news as Ozzy Alonso is retiring at the end of the season, as definitely will be a big hole that we will need to fill next season. Looking at our managerial summary overall, our biggest win was a 2-0 defeat against Atlanta. Our biggest defeat was a 4-1 loss against LAFC. We have played 39 games, we won 9, we drew 15, we have lost 15, we have scored 44 goals while allowing 57. Looking at this 2019-2020 season specifically, the club wanted us to make a run for the playoffs, which we did not do as we finished just 1 place away. The club wanted us to reach the round of 16 stage in the Open Cup, which we did not do. We did not win Manager of the Month or Manager of the Year at all. We did not have a record transfer fee that we paid for player as we did not buy anybody. However, our biggest transfer fee that we received was for Kalman of $680,000. We played a total of 39 games this season. We won 9, we drew 15, we lost 15, we scored 44 while allowing 57. I hope y'all enjoyed watching. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below. If you want to check out some of my other FIFA content, you can check it out on my channel. And it's JTV Gaming, signing off.
EA Sports. It's in the game.